What is this growing out here to the entrance of man land? I tell you what. Wait, what is this? Wood. Hey, where'd this come from? Huh. Well, look at them skies, man. They mighty dead-gum cloudy. And it's going to end up raining again. Howdy, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is amateur artist Mark D. Chandler once again from Man Land. I had to put my manual to the side because this video is about a bread making machine that we got at the flea market type of deal there in a little town we kind of live next to. Got it for $5, and this thing looks practically new. Very rarely used, and it's this right here. This is the actual manual that comes with it. It's a Hitachi at HB-B201. Yeah, I don't see any videos of this thing here on YouTube. I see the one previously that was mentioned. I see another version that somebody kind of did a video on. But none for this particular one. I see bread machines left and right. So in this here video, I'm going to use this manual with the actual bread making machine itself. We're going to do this inside the house because clouds, then the rain. We're going to get down to it. I'm not going to bore you. I'm going to use exactly the recipe that they have in this book here. To the grams. We're going to weigh everything and see how well this thing actually makes a loaf of real bread. Now, I've never baked bread in my entire life. I've done cakes, I've done biscuits and some cornbread, hush puppies, but never any real light bread, sandwich bread, that type of thing. Real light and fluffy bread, rolls. I've never done that either. So we're going to test this thing out. First cooking on the Hitachi. Yeah, well, whatever. And I'm an amateur. Like, I really don't know. But we're going to weigh it out. Now, there is one ingredient I'm going to substitute. We're going to use margarine instead of butter. I know. Wee wouldn't let me buy no butter. She said it's too expensive. So if it don't turn out right, it's Wee-Wee's fault. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the Hitachi Automatic Home Bakery Plus. Like I said in the opening video, this is not the oldest model they have. This is like intermediate. And hey, it costs us $5. Does the thing even come on? I don't know. I ain't plugged it up yet. But I have cleaned it off. Had a little bit of oil residue. There's a little oil spot there. Don't know how well that's going to show up there. But it's been sitting in somebody's kitchen. Collecting oil from people using cast iron. Not here, but there's a view on the inside. Man, that looks interesting. Now this is the pan that goes with it. This is the bread baking pan, and inside there, that little thing right there, that's the thing that stirs around. Yeah. Well, I cleaned the inside out pretty good, and it is a non-stick coating, and it tells you in the manual, be careful, take care of it. Because this non-stick coating is easy to come off. The only thing I can sit there and compare it to would be kind of like anodized aluminum in a way, maybe. So we're going to get to cooking with it. Man, this manual said there's supposed to be a little measuring cup and some spoons that come with this unit, which we ain't got. So it's a good thing that the manual gives you the recipe and breaks it down into ounces and grams. So I'm going to be going by grams. That's right. Hold on. I got my Taylor little digital scale. Had it for a while, man. I've used this thing a lot. And we're going to be weighing every single piece of item that's going into this bread making machine. That way I don't make no mistakes. And if it happens to fail and not make the bread, it ain't my fault. It's going to be Wee-Wee's fault, because like I said, we didn't get no real butter. We used margarine. It's going to be her fault. Now the fact that humidity plays a very big part into baking like bread and such as that, I reckon. I don't know. I ain't never made no bread. So, it says in the manual to put everything out, all your recipes, all your ingredients, and allow it to come to room temperature. Now, what is room temperature? Man, I had to look that up on the internet. Even the internet don't really know. Room temperature is generally defined as around 70 to 71 degrees Fahrenheit. But the general definition of room temperature is what you feel comfortable with without having to put on a coat or take your shirt off. So I'm not sweating, and it is a little bit warm here. Matter of fact, we just turned the AC unit back on. Yeah, we don't run it too much. That electricity is expensive here in Mississippi, man. Gotta cut back. Another factor that also is inherent here is not only room temperature, but we're going to have to use some lukewarm water. So I had to look that up on the internet. Again, the internet is undecided on what lukewarm water is. Yeah. It's not room temperature water, but even though that definition is applied to room temperature water. But generally what I found, lukewarm water is around 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So, in other words, if you were to put that water on the back of your wrist, somewhere in here, it's kind of like baby formula. You know, before you stick it in the baby's mouth and burn his butt, not his butt but his mouth, you want to test it first before you give it to the child. So, that's kind of what lukewarm water would be. Now, what temperature is that? Generally, around 105. But yeast, you got to be careful around yeast. Too hot of water can kill the yeast. Too low of a temperature, the yeast just won't work. So, and what I'm going to do here in this video, lukewarm water is going to be what I hear in room temperature. I'm going to stick my finger in, and it feels a little warmer than what I feel. To me, that's lukewarm. So that's the only two variable factors that I cannot control here in this video. So let's get it on. Let's do it. We're going to weigh all the ingredients, and we're going to show you what the ingredients are. But you're not going to see me weighing all the ingredients. It takes too much time. Just like me talking. Oh, and by the way, this little bread pan right here that is used inside the unit comes with a lid. And it's kind of neat. It's still kind of aluminum deal. But we won't need the lid for baking bread. It says right there on the lid, use only for rice cooking. I don't know if you can see that right there. And it has watermarks here. This might be reversed, but it's for rice. That's right. This thing cooks rice too. Does it really work? I don't know. I ain't done it yet. I haven't cooked bread in it yet. And it also cooks jam. So, let's get to the bread. We don't need the lid, according to the manual. We actually weighed everything out that could be weighed except the water. It's measured in fluid ounces or an actual measuring cup, which, let me go ahead and explain to you. This is bread flour, Pillsbury brand. It's the only bread flour we can get. It has been sifted. Doesn't specifically say in the manual. If it does, I skipped that part, didn't see it, but I sifted the bread. And this bread flour is exactly 375 grams. Now let's go over to the tap water. That is actual lukewarm water, and it measures 9 1/8 fluid ounce, or 270 milliliters. We've got the yeast in this container, which is separate from the other ingredients for a reason. The yeast is measured at 3 grams. Here we've got the dry milk. The dry milk is measured at 8 grams. We've got the sugar. Sugar is measuring at 21 grams. We've got salt. That salt measures in at 6 grams. And here's my substitute, folks. Butter, which in case this is margarine, the margarine is weighing in at 23 grams. Now remember, if this recipe doesn't work, it's Wee-Wee's fault. Now, according to the manual, it's very important. We're going to add the water first. Period. Then we're going to add all the dry ingredients except the yeast in next. Let's add the water. That's lukewarm water. We're setting the butter out to the side. We're going to add our flour next. If I can do this without making a mess. Shovel this right here down so it kind of cones in there right. Shovel it around so it kind of cones in there right. Now, can you actually get all that flour in there? You know, I mean, you measured it precisely. Now we got some residue in there, so can you actually do it? Probably not. There's some of the grams there on the side. Anyway, now we're going to add all this other stuff right here. Oh, we're going to make sure that the bread covers the water. Now, I've seen that on YouTube videos. We're going to go ahead and add the butter to the side there, I suppose. Now, that butter is at room temperature. Here's the dry milk. This is not wet milk, this is dry milk. We've got sugar and salt going in next. I'm going to add that to it. And it says to make a well. Well, now, you're supposed to put the flour and yeast together, so make a little well. I think I just messed up. Should have put the flour in last. Oh well, here we go. Now here's the quick rise. This is Fleshman's quick rise yeast. I'm going to put that right in the center. And I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference because it says to place this thing in the bread maker immediately and start the process. So let me get ready to do that. Lifting the lid, grabbing the handle, walking the mile, putting it down the side there. And it says to snap it in place. Just in there, the snap. That is now in place. Then we go over here and we set our settings. Oh, I'm going to close the lid. We've got this thing here. This does not, from what I see, does not show the size of the bread. I'm making the largest bread I can, which is 1.3. When you hit cycle, it goes to knead, first rise, second rise, and then bake. Little circles right there. And I've already got it set for medium. That's the bread color, medium. And then it shows bread as far as the menu. Let's see here. Cycle through, bread rapid, bread mix, this rice, jam, and goes back to bread. So let me hit my cycle again. I'm choosing all the cycles because I want this thing to go all the way through. All we have to do now is hit start. Well, there is a nice little stop button. Reckon I need to stop it for any reason? Let's find out. Let's see what this does. Oh, I heard it bump. It's actually bumping. Can you see down in there? Ooh. Ooh. Let's lift the lid. There we go. Check that out, man. It looks like quicksand. Oh, folks, this is so exciting. Either I'm going to be making bread or I'm making concrete. Who knows? Gonna let it go through all the cycles. Check back in with it from time to time. So far, looking kind of good. Got that like I'm trying mode. Yeah. Wow. Oh, ooh. Oh, check that out. I mean, it's kicking some butt. Look at that. Hey, that thing's actually pulling all the dough from the side. Neat. Well, like I say, we'll keep it checked. And it's showing here, is that 4 hours? Yeah, 4 hours and 9 minutes. It does have the countdown going. 4 hours and 9 minutes. So it's going to keep going through the cycle. So yeah, I got the flashlight because I got a dark hole there. The thing looks like it's actually doing pretty daggone good. There's a little bit stuck on the side. Hey. Well, we'll find out. Close the lid. Leave this thing to do its thing. You know what I'm saying? $40 to go, and I had to take a sneak peek. That's solid. Well, I hope I didn't mess up its cooking ability. Oh, I don't want to interfere with the process. But once that thing gets done, we're going to place it here on this cookie rack. Now that's pretty much important because it's going to be hot when it comes out. We're going to place it in the pizza pan, but then we're going to transfer it to this cookie rack here, and that keeps the bottom It allows it to cool off, but it keeps the bottom from getting moisture in there, and allows it to cool off properly. So we're going to be doing that here less than 40 minutes. Man, it smells great. I can smell this all the way in the man cave, which is at the other end of the house. It smells good. Now for removal, we're going to try this thing. First time doing it. I'm going to try to do it so the camera can see. Grabbing the handle again, grabbing the back of the unit. Let's see how easy it comes out, if easy at all. It's starting to release. I'm thinking this thing should have cooled down some more, but what's got it is that little paddle in the bottom. It actually bakes into the end of the bread. There we go. Alright. Yeah, didn't come out exactly super clean. There's a big hunk of bread down there on the paddle. But hey, hey, not a big deal. My first time doing this. This looks amazing. It does. Wow. Interesting, interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on this cookie rack. Oh yeah, there's steam coming out. Let me see if I can get a zoom of that right there. Man, let me zoom in here while it's still doing it. Can you see the steam? I'm trying to get up against the black part of the spoon there. That's a lot of steam coming out that hole there in the back. And they said it would have that hole in there when you release it. Ho, 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 ho. Yeah. Man, that is nice. Super soft. Oh man. Dude, I own this. It's nighttime. Daddy Cool here is gonna make him some late night breakfast. Bacon, eggs, fresh bread toast. Mmm.